Hear the rumble of a 939. But Simon's running down the yard. I was thinking, oh, what's wrong? Log splitters coming in for a little bit of refurb. Obviously, black and red go really well together. Paul's making his boat remote control. Big job. He's got his glasses on.
Take them off. Look with them off.
I wouldn't bother fixing it. I think it's sound in. It's the rally car sound.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Famous now, come.
So how long have you had it for? Why can't he see? You've not got mirrors?
No, that's all.
It's amazing that little thing can silence it so much though, isn't it?
There's only one box on it.
How come it's not got a cat on it? Oh yeah, it has.
I could well level. I'm well level.
Log splitters coming in for a little bit of refurb. The ram here, where that's fastened into the ram's cracked, so when the ram's been returning, it's been leaving the plate behind. Rob's just going to weld this up now. Won't sound like a rally car now. Have a proper look at the 18 van. So loads of people saying, what have you bought the van for? Well, because it looks cool. No, in all seriousness, so Robin, that helps us a bit in the summer and has worked for us over the years, is coming back working for us full time, and he starts in a week or so. And his old job, he had transport and needed transport, so we were looking at something that we could use, get tools in the back, throw bits of parts in and stuff like that. Use it around the yard, because it's obviously have the tools, drive up to the chipper, fix it, whatever, because the chipper is the thing that takes the most fixing. So this van was in the dealership, and it was the choice between a white boring panel van with nothing in it, or this one, which was a demonstrator that they were moving on with 6,000 miles on the clock, and it had all sorts of toys on it, including the head-up display, which I'll show you now. There's the head-up display there. So I'm going to take it round and put it in the shed and we'll have a better look at it. It's got a reversing camera as well, and parking sensors, because obviously it was a demonstrator, so we had loads of toys on it. The other thing it had obviously as well is the extra seats. This is my phone in cinematic mode. I don't know what the difference is, but there's the van, black, near the black FENDT. And obviously black and red go really well together. And it's kind of unanimous yesterday that, well, there's a few people that said not to put it on, but I do think it needs a red stripe, just to break up the black a little bit, but put like sort of like Ollie Blogs fleet support maybe in red rather than an actual stripe. Battery's flat on Rob's Maxim because the ignition was turned the wrong way from after the open day, because when you turn the ignition all the way off on a case and back the other way, it displays the hours but leaves the ignition on. We just put a little jump pack on now, go and see if that starts it. If not, we might have to go and get the big jump pack. So let's see. Ah, it's on 95%. Try again. No, that feels like that's not on properly. Go on, try it now. Is there a button you press on it for a boost? Should be on it, hold on. First job for the fleet support. Oh, it's got front parking sensors. Jump start the Maxim. Oh, look at that. Auto headlight dipping as well. Lane departure warning system, stop start, cruise control, parking sensors, blind spot sensors as well, traction control. Got loads of stuff on it. USB. Got aircon as well, it's freezing in here. How do you turn that up? That battery must be completely flat because it's now just clicking again. Just found this up in the loft. It's a photograph what the farm used to look like. Hear the rumble of a 939. Or the axles on the trailer, one or the other. Simon's here for chips and his axle steer so it goes around the bend better. Simon was chatting to Nick, looking at Discoveries, because Nick's got a new shape Discovery. And I got on his tractor, I thought I'll pull it forwards and start loading it with chip. And I'd just gone forwards about 2 foot, and Simon's running down the yard, and I was thinking, oh, what's wrong? So I stopped dead, and it wasn't. It's just he thought the tractor had started rolling, because he'd obviously had the air brakes come off and the tractor start moving. Proper woke him up. I wish I'd got it on camera. It's got a little screen in this one, reverse drive, so that, like I say, you pull that handle, dashboard lifts up and spins round like that, and then push around on the seat. Use the handbrake. It's drizzling a bit, and I'm loading this, and it's quite dusty, so it's going to change colour this in a minute. It's going to be wood chip brown Merlin. The wind's blowing the dust right towards me. Just patting it down now. It's a little bit breezy, so don't want it too high in case it's blowing out on his way home. Should do. And I thought it was just my dad that spilled chip on the yard. It was windy. Got the case running in the end by leaving it running on the jump leads for a bit while we had our dinner. Rob's just been using it to split the logs, so he's just putting it away now. Cummins engine sounds nice and smooth. Just in the shed out the wind, and I just noticed the front of the low loader is absolutely filthy. And it's just a shame really that there's not like, this mudguard's made of plastic and it is quite loose, that you can't put a flap any further down because of the arc of the wheel. It caps the wheel and pull in. Plus, with it being plastic, it's a bit flimsy. And I know you can get them to go on the link arms, but you'd just be forever taking them on and off. The problem with it is now, with this time of year, we've obviously been carting fertiliser back from the plant and things. We've got mud spraying up at the wheels, so you can't see these lights now because they're totally mucky. But that's all like salty mud, so it'll rust the trailer, so it wants washing off really. But if they made them like they used to, tractors, where the mudguards were metal, a little bit like on one of these here, you'd just be able to rivet, you know, rubber down, like a rubber flap, because you'd have something sort of half substantial to fasten it to. I mean, this hasn't even got mudguards, has it? But even this one, you know, it's just tin. But nowadays you just got like bits of flimsy plastic, I suppose. I think the FENDT are actually worse for it. Just going off, look at the FENDT now. This is here now. Yeah, you've got like this sort of plastic tail, but when you look at trailers, second-hand trailers, especially in farm sales, they're normally stone chipped at the front from stones off the wheels or bits of mud flying up, and then they're all rusting here at the same time. Unless you put a rubber mud flap on every trailer, but then it'll get costly and add weight to it. Anyway, aside from all that, so remember in the summer there's a guy that had lots of trouble with youths, and he parked the car in the way and he was salvaging, so he got his little Wackanoosa and telehandler and moved their car back onto the road in a bit of a way that damaged the car, to be fair. He flipped it over, didn't he? Anyway, the court case is finally come round, and it was yesterday, and it was a great result because he's not been convicted of any sort of criminal damage towards the car, or the fact that when he swung round the pallet forks knocked the guy over. Now the guy that was sort of whose car it was drunk. Apparently he was going to walk the 52 miles back home, and he wasn't really going to drive back in his car, but we all knew he probably was. You know, why would you drive your car there and then walk 52 miles home? It's just not going to happen, is it? So that's good, because by tipping his car over, also stopped him driving drunk, I would suggest. Anyway, the good thing is they used a law that's, I think, 400 years old. So they referred to a case 400 years ago where the guy said an Englishman's home is his castle and he should be allowed to defend it by whichever means, him or his servants, which is quite funny. So it means now this is like a landmark case. So if anything like this was to happen again, and farmers use reasonable force, whether that be mechanical or whatever, to remove things that are in the way, or now I'm not saying just go out and start ramming everyone's car out the way that's in the way, but if someone's aggressive towards you or your property, with this case now, you'll have a better chance of being able to sort of use whatever means is available and hopefully not get in trouble for it. Or if you do, there's a good chance that this has set a precedence that you'll be able to not be convicted of criminal damage for removing something. So I think it's good news. But the other thing is, it should also send out a bit of a warning to people that think that they've got the right to do whatever they want on someone else's property, because they haven't, and now this has happened. I feel like I'm waffling here. I'm trying to explain it, but hopefully you get what I mean. You know, all these people that go, oh, I'm going to park in your way, what are you going to do about it? Well, we're going to remove it with telehandler, basically. And if you're going to start like being arsey, then we might damage it as well. So I'm not saying it's giving us the right to just go around smashing up people's cars with telehandlers. But if someone's on your land and threatening you, like we often get with herd horses, and often they've got guns and weapons and stuff like that, or aggressive dogs, well, I won't think twice now about picking the car up with a telehandler and throwing it onto the road. Maybe not upside down, but just to get rid of it. And then if you end up in court, you can refer back to this landmark case and say, well, look, they were on my property, they were threatening me, this was the resources I had towards me, which is a forklift, I've moved it, end of. So I think it's brilliant, and I'm glad that justice was done. So these youths that were drunk and drugged up, that hit him first, because that was the other thing they used. He said, he referred back to a famous saying from Mike Tyson saying, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And apparently that's now been set in stone as well. So the guy got punched by this fella when he'd asked him to move his car. He felt threatened, picked it up, threw it on the road in quite an artistic way, if you ask me. Then as he swung round, because he didn't have any glasses on, he didn't notice, and he knocked him off his feet. So everyone was like, oh, that's terrible, he could have killed him. Well, he didn't. He lived to tell a tale. He lived to try and go to court and prosecute, despite him being in the wrong in the first place. Justice has been done, if you ask me. So I don't know what everyone else thinks about that case. Some people might disagree with me, I don't know. Let me know what you think, but I made up for the guy because he's gone through hell for the last 6 months. You know, he could have gone to prison really if the jury had thought that there was something wrong. But luckily, the events leading up to it were all documented, and yeah, justice has been done. Simple as that. And moving forwards, there's now a newer case 400 years later that can be referred back to as well. So I think it's great. Not a great lot of farming happening today. We've had rain and wind today. Still got that little bit of lime left to spread before, because I know where I was up to, where it broke, so I need to sort that out. And then, like I say, we're going to try and get on the nitrogen next week. It's given it, I think, a little bit of rain on Wednesday and wet today and tomorrow. So hopefully the wind will carry on until after the rain stops, dry stuff out, then it'll go still and dry, we can get on with stuff. I get loads of messages about how to be on the birthday bumper, especially on YouTube. The best way, send it on Instagram the day of the birthday, and don't forget to tell me the person's name. It's no use saying it's my dad's birthday or it's my husband's birthday, because then I have to message you back saying when, who, and etc. So yeah, on the morning of the birthday on Instagram is by far the easiest way, and gives you the best chance of me seeing it and putting it on. Don't say it's my partner's birthday on like the 15th of February yesterday, because by then I've not got it in my phone. What I do is every morning I go through the messages and I screenshot them, and then that night I look back and see which ones they were and put them on. But if you've done it ages ago, I can't do that, it gets lost. So on the morning of the birthday on Instagram is by far the best method to get on the birthday bumper. This is today's birthday bumper. Phil Ellison, Alan Head, Faye Lancaster, Harry Tidmarsh, Rosie Kettering, Ed Smith, Ed Rhodes, Ash Wallace and Davey Nesbitt. Happy birthday to you, all you guys, and anyone else whose birthday is today. Just in the Jurifica basket. The slate here slipping. I pushed this on a few weeks ago, but I'm going to have to put a bit of glue under it, I think, because it's coming off. I'll do! Big slates these though. Oh, I did actually. I put a nail and it slipped past it. Yeah, I have to do something with that. At least it's not going to fall on anyone's head for a bit. You need to remind me when it's dry to put some glue around that slate to stop it coming back, because obviously it's just bent the nail over. But if it's glued tight with all the others, it shouldn't do. But while it's wet at the moment, glue won't do anything. Just a thought for any lads watching. Brilliant Valentine's gift these hats would be. Available on the website now. Link below. Anyway, that's it for today. Going to take Olivia out this afternoon, and we're going to try and find a Chinese that's doing something for Chinese New Year, which was on Tuesday, because she wants to see a dragon.